Hello, people. We are back with week 7 of the Forge. It is absolutely crazy to be here. Before I get into things, I just want to mention a link to my opponent's YouTube channel will be in the description, as will the timestamp to where the battle is if you want to skip over the prep. Uh, so, to summarize what's been going on lately, our season has not been what I wanted. Uh, we are 3-3 in the final week, so we need to win this match if we want to make playoffs. I genuinely believe 2 out of 3 of our losses were at least in part due to bad luck, but also some of our wins were. So ultimately, I think the 3-3 ratio is pretty fair, even if I have my complaints. But in the end, all we can do is the best. However, despite me saying that, I do gotta mention, I have been pretty busy lately, so my EV spreads aren't as funky as they normally are. My prep is a little more boring, but I think we got some pretty good stuff this week. Definitely bringing a Chungus team, so if we're gonna lose like ourselves. Our opponent has a terrifying team. They're the founder of the league, so it's very fitting. They got the Toxtricity, Moltres, Swampert, Poliwrath, Regirock, Umbreon, Thwackey, Fortress, Spiritomb, Rapidash. These mons are terrifying. Spiritomb and Rapidash and Swampert and Toxtricity can all run both physical and special sets. Toxtricity, Regirock, I guess Swampert technically, Thwackey, Spiritomb, Rapidash, they all have setup sets, so it's a very hard team to prep for. It's also incredibly bulky, one of the bulkiest in the entire league. So it'll be interesting to see how we do. The first mon I'm packing this week is a Assault Vest Slowking with as much offense as possible. We want to get Future Sights off. I know Umbreon is the switch in, but what's nice is we can get a Future Sight up, switch into one of our mons that counter Umbreon, and then force it out and have something take huge damage. Because their Spiritomb and Fortress also don't like taking hits particularly well. Their Future Sight switch-ins are good, granted, but in my opinion, we're able to cover them decently well. It's a really simple set. It takes hits from Moltres, it takes hits from Poliwrath, unless it's like Belly Drum, but we can be careful around that. It can take a hit from Toxtricity and clap it back. It obliterates special Galarian Rapidash. Destroys Fortress, 1v1, Regirock, Swampert. It's there to beat a lot of those Fat Mons 1v1, even if it has trouble with Umbreon. Next we got Ball, the Ferocity, simple set, Stealth Rocks, Leech Seed, Toxic Knockoff. Toxic's Leech Seed hits everything on their team for that nice residual damage. Knockoff is to clear some Eviolites or leftovers or boots on Moltres when it comes in, so that our Stealth Rocks will start to fuck with it and keep it from coming in on the mons it may try to. I like this set a lot. I think it should work well. Next we got a Bandit Incineroar running offensive this week. The only mon that can really take hits is like a Fizdef Poliwrath, which isn't amazing versus our team when we have such great counters to it. But yeah, we can just, I think their team Knockoff is really free. We can be clicking U-turn a hell of a lot. So I think it'll be a good set. I think it'll do its job. I think it'll work well. Our final big offensive piece is Kadabra Howdaspoon. Happy I'm bringing them at least once. They are running speed to tie a non-boosting nature max speed Rapidash or a max speed boosting nature Moltres. I really wanted the Modest just so I could pick up those extra KOs. Like after Rocks and I think Toxic, we can pick 1v1 an Umbreon. We can also take a single hit from an Umbreon if we're at full health due to if it's foul play. I need to specify there. But yeah, the coverage hits everything for really nice damage. Fortress does not love taking special hits at all. Fortress actually isn't great at all in this matchup, in my opinion. So if they bring it, it'll just be to Spike Stack or Spin or whatever. But it's fine. I think we got it covered. Next, we got our Toxtricity and Moltres answer. It's another AV mount. Sorry about this. I know I bring nothing but AV. But it's a Volt Switch, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Hex, Rotom. Another one that gets walled by Umbreon pretty hard, but it can pivot really nicely versus their team. It can take the hits it needs to. It can fire off those ghost attacks. It'll be a good set. I think it'll work fine. And unless they have like Snarl Toxtricity, they'll be screwed. And honestly, on Toxtricity, they have to run stuff like Fire Punch or Mixed if they want to be able to break through my Ferocity. Finally, we got Hitmontop. This is our answer to offensive like Swampert and Poliwrath and Regirock and Thwackey. It's very Fizz-Def with Intimidate and Rocky Helmet. Toxic, Stone Edge, Close Combat. It's our spinner for that hazard removal. Hazards have been a pain lately, so it's an important set this week. I think Riley O'Reilly will have a little bit of redemption. Right now it's 0-2. I mean, so is our new team. But I hopefully think Riley O'Reilly will help carry us into playoffs. I love Hitmontop. I've used it a lot in the past, and hopefully it'll start showing. I do think it's done decently in the matches I've brought it to. We are not bringing Swellow this week, which sucks, but Umbreon, Regirock, Spiritomb some sets, and Toxtricity can all wall it if running the right thing. So, I feel bad not bringing our key member for what might be our last week of the season if we don't get into playoffs. But it is what it is. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to get in. That's what's really important, right? Potential threats. I think just Toxtricity breaking through us. I think a Trick Poliwrath could be a huge source of issues. And maybe like a Calm Mind Spiritomb would really fuck with our team. But overall, I think we got a pretty good squad to beat them down. I believe in the dream, and hopefully you guys are believing too, because that's the only way we gotta win this, man. With that said, I'm gonna see you guys at the battle. Hello, and welcome back to the most climactic battle of the entire season thus far. We are not only facing the commissioner of the league, Forge Exostomp, an incredible player, an incredible builder, an incredible content creator, but we are also fighting for our shot at the Forge playoffs, and we have no choice but to win. So I'm going to shoot my guy. Good luck, have fun. And we are going to play the shit out of this. Pardon my French. Alright. I'm going to lead with Incineroar. And Incineroar is going to click a button. And what's going to happen is what's going to happen. Let's get Incineroar loaded up. Here we go. Sorry. Just sat down. I'm buzzing a little. We're gonna see how this plays out. This is not gonna be an easy game. They seem to have brought a lot of what I was scared of. They did not bring Rapidash. They did not bring Toxtricity. The best thing is no Rapidash, as that means Kadabra being modest is justified. I was not stupid to do that. Their build makes me think they might potentially be Trick Room, which is terrifying, but Slowking has an answer to that. Overall, I think I can beat their threats. I think it's gonna be down to if they can stall me out and if my breakers can get through. If Kadabra and Incineroar can do their job. Let's see what they lead. Thwackey, this is perfect. So, you're 100% going to click U-turn here. Or no, we're 100% going to click knock here. We're going to do massive damage to something. Let's see how much we're doing to a Moltres. If they are not a bulky Moltres, we can 2KO them. Let me double check to make sure Thwackey with a band isn't going to be killing us, but I don't think it should be. Woodhammer with Intimidate active, and it's doing a Drain Punch. Nope, not enough. Let's see how well you take this. 74! Oh my goodness. Go for the kill, Incineroar. Actually, I'm going to make sure that I can get the kill. That did 74, so they are Spadef, and now they have no item. 43, we are still doing enough. We are going to clap this Swampert. Taffy, your time is done, if we can help it. Umbreon, lose that item, bud. And Umbreon can't really touch us all that well. I think Ferocity is easily the most expendable. Not expendable, but oh, Baton Pass, that's a good bring. So they're gonna go into their Moltres here for free, pretty much. They got the momentum back, which is very good for them. Now that they know we're Banded Incineroar, this is going to change the game a lot. Here comes this, and we are going to go into our big Slowking. They're likely going to click U-turn, but I'm okay with that. Yep. Oh my gosh, 30. Let's see what they go into before we start calcing anything, actually. I expect Umbreon or Spiritomb to come out. I can play the pivot game forever since we have regen on Slowking. So if they go Umbreon, we go right out into Ferocity. If they go Spiritomb, then we go right out into Incineroar. And when that happens, or if that happens, sorry, we will have to do some calcing. But until that moment comes, let's sit back, relax, reflect. I think we're doing pretty alright so far, but there's still a lot of room to lose this bad. They go into Thwacky. So, let's see. Let's make sure that is a typical Moltres set. U-turn. Yep, that is a minus attack Moltres, as makes sense. Hitmontop. There's no Mon we need to go in other than this, so we're gonna go right out into Hitmontop. Knock off. They're gonna take that Rocky Helmet chip, and now their grassy terrain is gone. Or yeah, there we go, it should be. And we're gonna click a very free Toxic here, hits their entire team. There is no way in hell that they go Umbreon. Perfect. They could be a Rest variant on this, but that's perfectly fine. Now we're going to go right hard out into our Incineroar. This thing, unless it clicks Toxic, absolutely cannot touch us. Let's see. I'm going to cancel that 1 second, sorry. Alright, yeah. I'm not that worried about Toxic. In the end, Incin, if it takes Toxic, it takes Toxic. They double into Moltres. So we outspeed Spiritomb, which is interesting. Let us see. So we take an offensive Hurricane. Do we take a Scorching Sands? We do take a Scorching Sands. I think I'm going to click Knockoff here. I don't think they would stay in on this, but I don't know if they want to take a U-turn. I think it's honestly safer to click Knockoff here. Because if they want to go into Umbreon, then we go right into Ferocity. And if they want to Wish, we can get Rocks up and we can just work on chipping their Umbreon. Okay, so we're going to do huge damage. 77. There go the boots. They're probably going to U-turn here, which is fine by me. They outspeed and did a lot of damage. So, they cannot be modest, but they are fully offensive Moltres. I think I'm going to go into Rotom, because yeah, if they want to U-turn, Rotom isn't the most vital of our team members, and we have a lot of excellent options. Since they did not bring some of the Mons that scare out Rotom, we can pretty much click buttons on anything. They want to go Umbreon? That's perfectly fine. We can Volt Switch into our Ferocity immediately, try and get up Rocks ASAP so that Moltres cannot get in under any circumstance. They go Umbreon? Yep. No lefties starting to hurt, huh? Click Volt Switch. We did 16. Let's see if that is the right amount. Volt Switch did 16. I think they still... Yeah, they definitely have Spadef, I believe, but they're not fully Spadef. Either way, we're going to go into this. They might Baton Pass. They will go for a Wish. Go for a Toxic into the incoming Moltres. Yep. Maybe Rocks would have been better, but I think it's really valuable. And I'm going to go right into my Rotom here. We know they have U-Turn and Scorching Sands. I would expect maybe a Flying move and Defog for their other two moves. Their Umbreon is getting very chipped down, which is excellent for Kadabra. Kadabra might be able to pull out some real magic here. The game is looking pretty alright so far, but I need to be extremely careful about this Moltres. I do have two AV Mons, but it is still a big threat. That's how great Moltres is. Go right for a Flamethrower. That did a lot. Oh my god. Moltres. Or no, it is offensive Moltres. The Flamethrower. Yes, that's the right amount. Volt Switch will kill them, no matter what, pretty much. If they are, since they're speedy Moltres. So I think I have no reason not to just click Volt. They don't have, or they do have a ground type, but I believe Swampert should die. It does not die to what? Actually, I'm gonna click Shadow Ball here. If they go Umbreon, that'd be really bad, but I think they're expecting a Volt Switch. Oh wow, good for them. We get this a very unfortunate Spadef drop. I hope it shouldn't matter too much, though. Click a very nice Volt Switch here. This? I'm gonna go for a Wish. They're gonna have to stay in here, which is fine by me, because now we get up Rocks, and their Moltres is dead on impact. And now we are going to click Toxic. They will likely go into Moltres, but if they do so, their Moltres is lost. And Moltres is their only remover, so I think these Rocks are up for the rest of the game. Now I need to make a very important calc. Does Ball do 6% to a Moltres with no item? I think we might be able to. Go Moltres here. See if you live. This knockoff is going to claim that Moltres' life. Ball putting in the finest of work, I think. Let's find out in the end. They go Swampert. Oh, that's a really good play. I mean, I partially built Ball to take on Swampert, so while these wishes are annoying and Umbreon is a very big threat, I'm not overly upset. Also, Kadabra can now two-shot Umbreon, which is huge. Like, Kadabra has legit basically no switch-ins at this point in the game. Even Spiritomb cannot take attacks incredibly well, so this is really, 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 really valuable. But Leech Seed is free here. They want to go Thwacky. It's not great, but... Cancel. This is an interesting match so far. Umbreon pulling its weight 100%. And Umbreon, you do not like that chip damage, do you? No, 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 no. You do not. So they don't have Toxic. Which makes me think that, I can go right into my Incineroar. And get a little healing, since they went for a Wish. Let's find out does U-turn. U-turn will still KO Moltres, so we're gonna go for a U-turn here. A basically unresisted U-turn, mind you. And I think we're gonna claim our first KO of the match should everything go well. It's decently close so far, but I feel like I have the edge, and I feel like the most important thing is I have Kadabra and Slowking, the dual psychic powerhouse core, sitting in the back, sitting on the sidelines, waiting to come in and crush the competition. But, you know, it is not over yet. I do not know what could happen. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. We got disconnected. Nothing has happened. You didn't miss anything, so let's just keep with the battle. This is an interesting fight so far. I think they're probably calculating the same thing I am with their Moltres. But I don't think they'll like their answer. Even max HP Moltres. 34. A sweet 34. I'm curious. They don't have an item. Swamp Urt. We KO them. So we're going to click a very safe energy ball here. They don't have a switch in. They can go into Spiritomb or Thwacky, I'd say. Those are their bold switch-ins, both of which threaten me, but okay. They are going to sack their Umbreon to How to Spoon. Kadabra picking up their first KO of the season. If we can get that Spiritomb, we are one step closer to having perfectly 100% free and safe, what do you call them? Psychics, which is going to be super nice. We're going to go in our Hitmontop, no reason to over-predict, though I do want to calc. I believe they hit our Hitmontop before. Knockoff did... Knockoff, let me try and find it. What? I'm sorry. Did 8%. Okay, Knockoff did 8% from a Thwacky. Thwacky, so I don't think that's banned. Nope, it's not banded. But I do think it's max attack. Yeah, it is. Still, Rally O'Reilly is our switch-in. It does give them free Spiritomb, which isn't my favorite thing in the world. But Spiritomb isn't that great. I think it'll be okay. U-turn? Yep. No Rocky Helmet, unfortunate there, but in case you guys didn't see, Thwacky didn't get any recovery there, so we're continuing to chip that down very nicely. And those rocks, which are permanently up, they have no removal, are really starting to put in the work. Honestly, I feel like I want to go Meowser here. I don't want to over-predict against this. In the end, Toxic only hurts so much with grassy terrain up, especially since I'm likely just going to U-turn out immediately anyway. But let's just see what happens. Let's not be hasty. I hope you guys are enjoying the overly epic music, by the way. I thought it was fitting for a match like this. I know I haven't been making like amazing plays or anything super fancy so far. I've just been going off a prep. So this is an interesting thing. Regirock is terrifying. And I don't want it getting set up on me, so I think I'm just going to click Close Combat to make sure it can't set up versus me. Oh my gosh, this thing is too bulky. If it's Spadef, we might be able to 2KO, though. Okay, there's a shot. Clicking CC here. The Spiritomb. Okay, good for them. Ooh. I don't know what to do now. To be entirely honest. That was very well played on their part. I think I might sack Rotom to scout their set. Swoosh has been very nice, but also I I need to Regirock? Sure. think I'm going to click Shadow Ball. I don't want to overpredict too much. Let me double check. I know we're not going to do that much with Shadow Ball, because this thing doesn't have huge attack, but just anything to make sure it doesn't get set up with a curse. In the end, I think Slowking and Kadabra and Hitmontop and Frosty, I think the combination can always beat it down, but they go into Swampert, that makes sense. 34, that's more damage. I think they might be more offensive Swampert, based on what I'm seeing. Yeah, that should not be doing nowhere near that much. I don't want to give them free Moltres under any circumstance, so I'm clicking Shadow Ball. And then this is another free Shadow Ball. They're probably going to sack this, but they might sack Moltres. And nope, they sack this. Volt Switches are free now. That is huge. Let's see. Are you a Shadow Sneak variant? Sucker Punch. I think I'll go Incineroar, and I'm going to click Knock Off here. Doesn't really let anything in for free. Because... oh my gosh. Incineroar, big man, picking up the KO. I think that might have been a bulky, like, almost Fizz-Def Spiritomb. I probably should have calced if Knock was guaranteed to kill. If it wasn't, I'm sorry, but that's just the power of Banded Incineroar. Meowser has been waiting a long while to show his strength, but here he is. But now they're probably going to go Moltres and try and roost on me, which I am not going to let happen under any circumstance. They go Moltres, I'm clicking Knock Off until I die. Yeah. I'm clicking Knock Off 100,000%. No reason to do anything else. I don't want to overpredict. Let me see how much we're doing to a no item Moltres. Still doing so much, man. So they just, oh my gosh, Moltres lived. How to Spoon getting another KO as well. Here comes this big threat. No reason to predict. They're probably going to U-turn. They're going to Grassy Glide here. And I'm going to 100% click CC. I don't want to predict. Let's see. Hitmontop into Whack E. We're not doing a huge amount of damage. Regirock. I think we might be able to 2KO Regirock, though. Let's see. Oops. So, now we're at -1. Whack E. I think we should still be able to... I'm going to click CC again. Alright, and now we click Close Combat until we die. If they are Curse Rest, I don't think it'll matter. The Grassy Terrain helps them. It has been a good game, but I'm going to hold off on saying GG to my boy Exostomp until we got the win. Because if this is like some rock polish, weakness policy nonsense, I want to be careful. Actually, I'm actually going to go into Slowking because I am terrified. I want to be able to Intimidate Cycle this. Thunder Punch. Oh my god. Is it banded? What the f... Or is that just a really strong boy? See, this is the stuff you gotta be scared of. Thunder Punch. Coming off... I didn't know it got that. I guess that's bad prep on my end. Regirock did 62. I think that's banded. Choice band. It's probably banded. I'm going to go for a Leech Seed here. Because it could still be... Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's banded. Alright. They got the burn on the end. Well, that is going to be a 3-0 victory over Forge Exostomp. You had an incredible team. You had a good season. I think they might be out of playoffs, which is unfortunate. But I'm happy to have played them. It was an amazing match overall, in my opinion. I'm happy there wasn't much hacks at all. We, I believe, have made it into the playoffs for the Forge. So there will be a quarterfinals match next week if all goes well. Thank you guys so much for being viewers of this channel. Thank you so much for staying with us through this run. I'm really happy with how the main season went, despite all the hacks. And this was an incredible game to end it off. You guys gotta leave a like.